Hello, this is Michael Duff, and what follows is a sample chapter from my ebook and audiobook, Cut Weeds Grow Back, When MAGA Was Planted and a Plan to Kill the Roots. The Shtick That Stuck tells a critical part of the origin story of how the Trump MAGA nightmare managed to seize control of America, and the complete book documents MAGA's sad history and offers a detailed agenda to vaccinate our politics from the next viral pandemic of fascism posing as populism. The Cut Weeds Grow Back ebook is available on Kindle, and the audiobook is available on audible.com, amazon.com, and iTunes. Thank you. February 28th, 2025. The Shtick That Stuck. It was a shtick. It was a shtick that stuck. It was a shtick that stuck and proved easily mimicked for fun, profit, ratings, political power, and or bigger salaries. 35 years ago, a failed stand-up comedian fouled the air with a slickly produced manifesto of populist poppycock that plowed and fertilized the ground for a right-wing media echo chamber that continues to insult our collective intelligence to this day. He died with a 9-iron in his hand, a cigar in his mouth, and the Medal of Freedom hung around his fat neck. It's ironic that a failed stand-up comedian stumbled onto this franchisable shtick, because real comedians work small clubs for years to develop a singular identity. When they finally hit on something that consistently resonates with audiences, they keep it, hone it, and make it their own. New comedians would quickly starve by offering weak imitations of George Carlin, Rodney Dangerfield, or Phyllis Diller. But such is not the case with populist poppycock. That 30-word shtick is so basic, even simpletons can memorize and use it to gain political relevance by waving their arms, stomping their feet, screaming who to blame, what names to call them, what motives to assign them, and then separating all Americans into one of two tribes: courageous but victimized super patriots like themselves, or evil, deep state, coastal, woke, Marxist, libtard, baby-raping DEI vermin. Rebaptize yourself as an evangelical conservative and call your chosen enemies terrible names over and over again. Rinse, repeat, and then sit back and count your votes or the zeros in your next contract while denying all documentable facts that conflict with your talking points, which is all of them. One cable news channel refined this populist poppycock for dummies and broadcasted 24/7 for more than 20 years. It developed a large base of viewers for cable. Since its peak ratings are less than half for an episode of NCIS or 60 Minutes, its prominence is like being the biggest stud in the convent. This channel conditioned viewers to think negatively about every aspect of American governance by triggering them with raging chyrons about woke politicians trying to shove critical race theory and a full set of queer pronouns down their throats. Over time, the channel attracted political opportunists like flies to a dead lizard once they discovered they could surmount that pesky, elitist requirement that they be able to articulate something, anything relevant about public policy by simply reciting some version of the original populist poppycock shtick while wearing a low-cut muumuu or that mean squinty face that just begs to be smacked. The shtick-like channel planted seeds that grew into a crop that was eventually harvested by the world's most polished con man, who quickly claimed ownership of the channel's field and all the fields that surround his new field. In a truly surprising development, the vast majority of those who previously identified as conservative looked around, saw the world becoming more inclusive and globally segmented, and realized they simply had neither the energy and skill set to compete nor the willing and open spirit to adapt, and sought refuge in a pure alloy of willful ignorance, blind adoration, and racist nativism. A significant percentage of former conservatives chose to demonstrate solidarity with their brother jihadists by hurling frenzied nihilism against the twin towers of secular authority and religious diversity. The rest rejected outright jihadism and tried to walk the high wire of rejecting the con man's obvious unfitness while still committing to support his political potency out of a false sense of party loyalty. By choosing to parse populism, they've effectively killed their own long-term political careers once MAGA dies, and will play no role in the eventual reformation of a responsible, policy-focused, fiscally conservative, center-right political party. They will learn far too late what most Americans have long known. Once you don the mask of MAGA-defiled republicanism, you can never pry it off. There are none so blind as those who will not see that the most dangerous line of bullshit has a hook on both ends. This is Michael Duff, and I appreciate your time.